Hello everyone, welcome again to my online class. This is Sharkat Taslim Afroz, lecturer, Department of English. My dear students, in my today's class, I am going to discuss about a topic which is very important. Yes, dear student, today we are going to talk about English first paper book, that means your EFT book. There, we will talk about renewable energy. My dear students, in my today's class, I'm going to discuss about a passage. I will give you the overview about the passage, give you some description, ideas about the passage. Besides, I will discuss about the vocabulary which will help you to understand the meaning. And dear students, remember, when you are reading a passage, you have to know the reading method. Yes, in my previous class, I have talked about the reading method. To follow the reading method, you have to know three important topics. That is scanning, skimming and skipping. These three will help you to read a passage very properly. And remember, my dear students, when you are reading a passage, you have to underline the important line. You have to keep the record because all the question you have to answer from the passage. Besides, dear students, when you are answering any question, that means question answer, you have to be careful about sentence structure. You have to write information from the passage. That means relevant information is important when you are answering question. Besides, most dear students, you have to know the vocabulary. Don't write anything outside from the passage. Don't give your own judgment, own opinion, but give your opinion or judgment from the passage. Try to give all information as asked in your question. And remember, for MCQ, you have to write the answer serially A to if B, C, D, E, F, G, H. Like you have to write the answer serially. And question answer, you have to elaborate the question answer. I hope, dear students, you have understand. In my today's class, as I said, I will discuss a passage. I will show you a sample question about MCQ and question answer. In question answer, I will give you sample answer. Please try to elaborate them. As I said, this is only a sample question, but you have to describe the information from the passage. So dear students, at first we have to read the passage very carefully to answer all the questions from this passage. Now let's get started. In a speech at the 19th Science Congress, internationally acknowledged scientist and former Indian President Mr. APJ Abdul Kalam mentioned a very important aspect of mankind's future energy crisis. He pointed out that the era of wood and biomass has almost come to an end. This one is very important information from the passage, so you have to underline this information. Next, the age of oil and natural gas would soon be over within the next few decades. Massive burning of world's coal reservoirs may lead to a worldwide ecological disaster because coal burning emits the highest amount of carbon in the atmosphere. So, according to Kalam, the only solution that mankind can look to is the massive use of solar energy in future because it has some advantages over other forms of renewable energies. Here you can see now why has Kalam put so much importance to the issues of energy. The energy source have always been a major factor of change throughout history. The world's petroleum consumption has increased from 3 billion barrels in 1930 to annual 50 billion barrels today. In the next quarter century, the world's population is expected to be about 8 billion, which is 30% higher than today. Developing countries will grow their economics about 2 times faster than industrialized countries. Global economic growth is expected to continue at 3% per year. Consequently, the global demand for energy will grow at about 1.7% per year on an average. It indicates a 50% rise of energy consumption by 2030. If the world's daily petroleum consumption is 110 billion barrels now, it will rise to 150 billion barrels by that time. The present reserve of hydrocarbon energy sources is limited and it will not be sufficient to meet the future energy challenges of the world. And hence, leading industrial countries have taken initiatives to tap alternative energy source mainly known as green or renewable energy sources. The bottom line of column's speech indicates that concern of mankind in the 21st century. So, dear students, I hope you understand the meaning of this passage. Now, to know the overview of this passage, I'm going to give you a summary of this passage. You have to understand the passage, and after that, I will give you some vocabulary to understand the meaning. So, from the passage, we can say Indian President Mr. APJ Abdul Kalam concerned about mankind's future energy crisis. According to his comments, the era of wood and biomass will be almost come to an end. Oil and natural gas are also limited. This crisis can be solved by using renewable sources. Solar energy is one of the renewable source. So, dear students, you have to read the passage very carefully to answer all the questions. Now, dear students, some important vocabulary. Vocabulary will help you to understand the meaning. Main word and the meaning. First one, desert means wasteland. Number 2, Congress. It means a formal meeting. Number 3, ecological means relating to the environmental and massive, large and heavy. Next, we have consequently. That means as a result. Number 4, alternatives, which means choice. Number 4, reserve, that means keep back. Emit, release. Now, dear students, you can see on the screen question from this passage. Choose the best answer from the alternatives. That means here I have given you some MCQ and there is alternatives. You have to solve this. Number 1, the word acknowledged refers to a popular, B, widely recognized, C, knowledgeable, D, wise. And the correct answer is B, widely recognized. Number 2, what element does coal burning emit? A, oxygen, B, nitrogen, C, carbon, D, sulfur. I hope you can guess the meaning. Yes, you are absolutely right. The answer is C, carbon. Number 3, the word consumption in the text refers to. The options are A, expenditure, B, ruin, C, waste, D, using up. And the correct answer is using up. Number 4, which forms of energies are most advantageous? A, kerosene, B, coal, C, solar energy, D, firewood. Can you guess the answer? Yes, dear students. Number C, solar energy. Number 5, which of following describes Mr. APJ Abdul Kalam? A, minister, B, scientist, C, politician, D, teacher. This information is also given in the passage. So from the passage, the correct answer is B, scientist. Number 6, what source of energy has already finished? A, solar energy, B, wood and biomass, C. Electricity. D. Oil and natural gas. And the correct answer is B. Wood and biomass. Number 7. The Science Congress is A or N dash organization. Ancient. B. Recent. C. Primitive. D. Recent past. And the correct answer is ancient. Then, from this passage, you have to complete question answer. Yes, you can see, answer the following questions in your own words. Yes, dear students, you have to answer all the question as your own. First question is for you. Who is Mr. APJ Abdul Kalam? And the answer is Mr. APJ Abdul Kalam is an internationally acknowledged scientist and a former president of India. Dear student, you have to elaborate this one. This is a simple question. Well, number 2, what do you mean by potential danger of nuclear energy? Answer: the potential danger of nuclear energy means the alarming situation resulting from frequent use of nuclear energy. Dear students, all the question you have to read the passage carefully. Number 3, what is the scientist Kalam concerned about? The answer was clearly mentioned in the passage. Well, the answer is the scientist Kalam is concerned about mankind's future energy crisis. I have also given this information in my summary. Well, number 4. Why does Mr. Kalam put much importance on solar energy? The answer is Mr. Kalam puts much importance on solar energy because it has some advantages over other form of renewable energies. And number 5, what is the only solution to meet energy crisis? Well, the answer is the only solution to meet energy crisis is to look at the massive use of solar energy in future. Yes, dear students, I hope you have understood how to complete all these questions. Remember, you have to read the passage carefully over and again. Dear students, another important thing when you are writing the answer, as I said before, you have to give relevant information. These are the sample questions, so try to elaborate the question answer because the question number for per question is 2. So you have to give more information for a single question. So my dear students, I hope you understand our today's topic. Yes. Now you have to do what? You are absolutely right. You have to do a lot of practice because proper practice makes a man perfect. And as a student, it's important for you to do a lot of practice. Then it will be very easy for you and you will obtain good marks in the examination. Dear students, if you have any kind of question, please ask your subject teacher. So dear student, see you later in my next class. Till then, Allah Hafiz.